Hello and welcome back, everyone. This is going to be another Heart of the Swarm replay from LiquidTLO's replay pack that he released a couple days ago on Teamliquid.net. We're going to hop right into this replay and get it started in the bottom left of Akilon Wastes as our red Zerg player. We have LiquidTLO. And as you can see from the chat, in the top left of Akilon Wastes, we have, as our blue Zerg player, EGIdraRC. Yes, these are both the players stated. This is not like another fake Idra account. You can see TLO actually asking if he wants to play a series. Very good idea. I do think that this practice regiment thing will be utilized much more. As we can see, you can just kind of, everyone knows the, you know, very standard 4 or 5 minutes, pretty well. Even if you're as low as, like, say, gold, platinum, you kinda know what you're supposed to be doing and how to do it because you've done it a couple hundred times or a couple thousand. So it'll just allow you to, you know, get in a couple more games here and there. This is a ZVZ. More than likely, looks like both players are actually saving up to go hatch first. Yes. So we do see hatch first out of both players. TLO is just a little bit quicker than Idra's, but really not that big of a deal. It was more probably just due to the fact that they might have had a little bit minor different incomes with a couple drones double mining on close mineral patches versus the farther away mineral patches. This will be followed up by a pull from both players and more than likely straight into a gas after the pull. So yes, this is a mirror matchup as you can see from the production tab. Very standard stuff coming out for the first couple minutes as they were kind of hinting at earlier. I will be interested to see what type of tech route they choose to go. Muta versus Muta has been crazy popular lately, but I think that's just due to the Infestor nerf, if you want to call it that, from Wings of Liberty. But still, I have to imagine with how grouped up Mutas become when they are attacking a individual unit, if you land 1 or 2 good fungals, that whole army is dead. And even if you have 4 mutas, well, 4 mutas is 4 more than 0 at that point, and you can still do so much harass, and if you only have a couple of mutas, that means that your ground army should be substantially stronger. So we shall see what type of tech paths these go. Swarm hosts not really favored in ZVZ at the moment, but you just don't know. Someone might, especially like TLO, who is constantly experimenting with the game, might try and do some sort of crazy thing. Actually, in a replay that I casted a few days ago, we did see him use Nidus networks along with the swarm hosts to make sure that they were not picked off while traveling across the map. And this was a very interesting technique because it allowed him to basically, in this situation, put down a Nidus worm, like say right here. And then he just instantly planted all of his swarm hosts right here, and it was just like flood the natural, flood the natural, flood the natural. It was on Daybreak, so not quite the same map, but you get the general sense of the idea. It was right where that natural ramp has, so I guess this is probably a better example. So it was like over here. Baneling Nest coming down for both players' speed, going to finish up about the same time, as well as the Spine Crawler. Still very mirrored builds. Pretty standard stuff, not too terribly much to talk about, although TLO, reason I am casting a ton of his games, he has been my favorite player to watch literally since beta. I actually started playing Terran strictly because of him, and then switched to Zerg about a week before he did, and then he happened to, and it was like, oh great, well now I still have a reason to really pay attention to his streams. And it was funny because we actually both switched due to the fact that at the time, while playing Terran, Terran was considered extremely overpowered. This was early on in the Wings of Liberty era, and there was a point where Terran didn't really lose. Not to say that they were unbeatable, but they were just so strong. It was like GSL after GSL, tournament after tournament. They were always competing for that top main prize. The win rates were definitely in their favor on ladder, so it was just kind of more of a challenge to play Zerg at that time. Now, as we see, Zerg has been figured out quite a lot, and it has switched, in fact. Now Terran is the least winningest race of the three, followed by Protoss and then Zerg, but still not really that skewed of stats. At the moment, people complain, but the highest win ratio is only at 54% for any matchup, obviously involving Zerg, but still not that big of a deal. You're never going to get it perfect. If it was 50-50, that would be rather boring. It would never lead to any sort of, well, what's going to happen situations. So interesting, TLO is getting Burrow, but he is not using this for Roach Tech. We do see a Spire coming out for EGIDRA, and he is just actually going to flood with some Lings, try and protect himself, make sure that no damage comes in, even getting some Banelings to go up with that. And now a very late Spire for TLO, so we shall see what exactly is going to happen here. Looks like he's going to try and snipe this third, but with these Banelings coming in, and Burrow, very nice. Now he can actually keep these Zerglings here, and then at some point, just unburrow them. And EGIDRA knows exactly where these guys are. A little bit of action coming out here, some nice micro. Nothing too crazy though. It does look like an Overlord was lost from TLO. Never a good situation. Would like to see him try to pick this off, but that is more than likely due to these Mutalisks. So, Roach Warren now coming down for EGIDRA. And is he going to try and break down these rocks and get in a little bit of a secret passage? No, it does not look like that is the case. This is the problem with having your mutas out much later than your opponent, is that all sorts of Overlords die, and, well, you're constantly having to spend larva on the Overlords, and that just sucks. We do see a huge counterattack, though. He is going to try and send the third. Not very good Baneling connects, to be honest, there. But with these mutas, he's going to easily be able to thwart this aggression. Third base stays up. Very equal on mining at the moment. In fact, EGIDRA even ahead to 55, so ahead 11 drones. And that's what I'm talking about when I say you have to spend larva on all of these Overlords that died. Those were all not drones, which puts EGIDRA very far ahead. Double Carapace coming out for both players. We do see, though, income is not much in favor of EGIDRA as it should be, because he's kind of, you know, not saturated perfectly. I mean, he's only missing 2, which is really not a big deal. We do see more Muta aggression happening here, and interested to see how TLO decides to deal with this. He is going to, no, not lose that Muta. Evo Chamber does go down. Very cool. Have not noticed that there's actually a backbone to that structure. TLO pretty far in the supply count behind already. That is not a good situation to be in. ZVZ tends to snowball in this type of situation. And as we can see, he's already down 30 supply. Had lost some buildings. Is going to have this counter aggression sniped off, and this Overlord as well. TLO does get a little victory with that Overlord kill, but now his mutas are out and about, and I am not sure though. Yeah, EGIDRA still has the muta count advantage. And TLO is just not going to be able to trade with that just yet, and his Carapace actually finished up before that of TLO's, so he is way ahead as far as upgrades and muta count. And TLO looks to be in a rough spot unless he can do some sort of very cool counterattack aggression. Even losing a gas along with a few drones, no good. Now we can see 9 mutas on the way. 10 in fact, but unit counting station still doesn't put them that far apart, and they shouldn't be after all of these pop. In fact, they'll be pretty much equal. And we'll just watch this tab. Yeah, we can see TLO losing so much quick, and now with these, oh, and there we go. He knows he is just too far behind. 60 supply difference. TLO has to call the GG, and that is a very good game to watch if you want to see how sort of the standard meta of Heart of the Swarm is taking place in ZVZ. It is a very, very snowbally effect. As I said before, once you are behind, it is incredibly difficult to catch up, but a very good game between two very high level players. If you did enjoy, feel free to subscribe or leave a cool comment, and would love to hear from you guys. Fairly new caster, feedback is always appreciated as long as it is constructive. Yes, I do welcome negative comments. Just again, give me something to shoot for. Don't just say you're terrible. That would be nice. So hope to see you guys soon. More content always